What?
We're back in Pipe Smasher!
Yay!
We're gonna smash some people with pipes!
And hopefully not die.
Hey, what happened to your axe? Why did you drop your axe?
Because it was slow.
That's... You know, I would think that an axe, like proper fire axe, which is what you had, should probably kill people in one hit. Like one really good hit.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know about you, but I don't know many people that would be able to survive an axe hit impaling them.
Have you met Nathan Sanders?
He's never been hit with an axe. I do not believe Nathan would survive if he got hit by an axe.
Can we restart? I said his last name.
Why?
Well, it's a... Isn't it like a... stalker thing? Like
people are going to know his last name anyway.
Alright, fine.
Especially if he wants to become an internet personality like he does. He's not going to be able to hide his last name forever.
Alright, future Chris, keep it in. We're going.
I could beep it out if he really wants.
Alright, fine.
I don't hide my last name. I fucking tag everything as CM Weiss.
Fine. Then, in that case, if you're going to bleep it out with the sound of a goat pooping. Or a goat vomiting.
I don't really want to find those sounds.
Well, you will now. You'll have to.
First of all...
Future Chris, obey me.
I sincerely doubt
where am I going?
There are open source sound files of those sounds. Which means that either I would have to go out and find a goat pooping and record it with my nice portable microphone, or steal it by ripping it off of some video on YouTube, because we know YouTube probably has videos of goats shitting.
That's true. I don't know where I'm going.
But that's illegal, so I'm not going to do that unless I get permission first.
I just went in a circle.
You're not very good at this game, are you?
No.
Hey, you have a stamina thing that disappears when you're not running. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, because stamina is only used for running.
Is it really all it's used for? Then why do you have a stamina bar?
I don't know.
Is there any reason, are you ever running away from people for an extended period of time? Because
yeah.
Are you though?
I don't know.
Does it encourage you to stay and fight? I don't believe that.
Ugh,
I feel like a locked door would be better incentive.
Oh.
You're proper lost, aren't you?
No.
Well.
I don't know if that described it enough for you.
Yeah. Well, here's something else we can talk about, because this is a perfect opportunity. Intuitive level design. Yeah. One of my favorite things, because so many people rarely do it right. And I will be totally honest. I am terrible at level design, and I have fallen prey to this numerous times. And especially, this happens a lot in 3D games. I don't know what makes them more prone to it. I think it's the limited perspective.
Maybe.
But, and the 3D space, too. That doesn't help either. Because that makes things just 10 times more complex. But it's hard. It's very hard.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
The fuck?
You gotta... Can you move that shelf out of the way?
I don't wanna. Oh, God!
See what happens when you don't do what the game wants you to do? You die. But intuitive level design. So...
Shit. Yes. Yeah, design. The real... yeah, it's totally cool.
There are ways... So maybe they're trying to make this environment feel spacious, right? Because you're in a big building. Now, there are tricks that you can use to manipulate users into following a certain path. Now, one thing this game has failed at is making environments or rooms... Okay, that was supposed to happen.
Plot's happening.
How does it feel
Shit.
to be on this end of the gun?
Oh, man.
Listen, you bastard.
He's got a pretty creepy voice. I'll give him that.
We are both on the same path of righteousness.
Oh, I don't think I believe you.
And the path takes...
I think you're crazy. You should probably kill him. Shoot him. I told you should have shot him.
Be ready for death, Agent Thomas. It shall come.
How does he know our name?
I didn't even know our name.
What if that's not our name? What if he's just calling us Thomas? Have we ever... Oh, no, they do call us by our name, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the first level.
Favorite weapon was my boot. Even though I didn't actually hit an enemy with it, I was just spamming the boot button.
That's absolutely wonderful.
How about that percentage?
Oh, there were metal pieces you could have found too, not just birds.
Damn it! I'm not achievement hunting enough.
Nope. We don't want to waste people's time like that.
Man,
All right,
no.
well, let's continue. What was I talking about? Intuitive level design. Okay, so there are tricks you can use to make levels more intuitive. And obviously, that first level failed in making rooms and areas look unique. Mm-hmm. So every single room we were in looked pretty much exactly the same as another. So oftentimes it was very hard to tell whether or not we were in a new place.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. That actually is a problem. Because
that does happen a lot.
We circle around a lot because how the hell are we going to remember everything that we've seen so far or every room we've been if there's no indication?
Oh, this game.
Is something going to happen?
No, it like when the light is off, everything has this like sort of gray whitewash thing happening. My eyes need to be open totally wide. I pooped. There's poop.
But there are other tricks to making levels more intuitive. To get back on that topic, so obviously making rooms look more unique. That's one. Just so that players can identify where they've been and where they haven't been. The other trick is to use things like lighting or paths
or color. Color is a really big one.
Yeah, color's a big one. Like there's a lot of things that developers can do to make paths seem more intuitive without like straight up telling you that this is the way to go. Yeah. If there's one thing I just absolutely despise, it's things like Fable's breadcrumb system of telling you exactly the path you need to go on to go where you need to go. I hate that. Sometimes it's nice. Dead Space had that shit, and it bothered me there too, but it was better because you couldn't just always have that shit on.
Yeah.
Even Skyrim has that too, but sucks in Skyrim.
Yes, they have that in there, but if honestly, with how big the world is, if they didn't have it in there, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, no.
I mean, to a point, having an objective marker is kind of nice.
It's very helpful when things can be confusing or you could get lost. Now, is that potentially a flaw in the level design itself, that you can get lost or not know where to go so easily? Yeah, you could argue that that's a flaw in the design. But at least they have something to balance it out, right? Fable, totally unnecessary. I don't think it should have ever existed in that game, and it's slap in the face of every game player out there, because that basically assumes that nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And while I'm sure it has helped people plenty of times in the past, I don't know, I think it's arbitrary, and it takes away too much from the game. It makes players not want to explore, and that's why I don't like it. That's why it's better in games like Dead Space or Skyrim, where it doesn't stop you from exploring because it's not always on.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to decide to turn it on temporarily.
It's a conscious decision.
Yeah, exactly. It changes the way you're interacting with it. And it's such a slight difference, but it changes a world of the game.
Yeah.
But anyway, to get back on topic. What was the point I was going to make? Fuck. Intuitive level design, making things not intuitive enough or too intuitive. The one game that is a flawless execution, I honestly mean flawless. I think it's perfect in every way of intuitive level design is the very beginning of BioShock Infinite. It was wonderful, absolutely flawless, because not only are you introduced to a new environment that you have no idea what's going on, and shit is just all over the place, you don't know where you're going, it feels huge, there are people everywhere, no matter what, you always seem to go exactly where you need to go, and it's brilliant! It's so well done.
Brilliant!
And I've never seen a player play that game and honestly, like, backtrack and circle around more than a little bit. And you feel lost, and it's well done because you're never really lost. You're still progressing, even if you feel lost. It's awesome. It's wonderful. They did Irrational Games, I think, is the developer. They did a
Yeah.
stellar job on that game. We should play that at some point.
Yeah,
I think Jen and
never-
I have talked about playing it because we both are huge fans of that game.
I played the shit out of the first one. I never beat it.
First one was very well done.
I heard the second one kind of sucked.
For the second one didn't suck necessarily. It was just exactly the same as the first.
Right. And I never played Infinite, which I've
In-
only heard wonderful things about.
Infinite was their best. It was their best so far.
I did my best.
I think the first one was good. It got a lot of flack in retrospect for its morality system because it wasn't really there was no morality system. It was fake morality system because if you're looking at things from a mechanical value, it was always the better option to save the little girls.
Yeah.
It was legitimately. There was no. If you are playing for optimization, you always save the little girls because you get more total benefit from it. So it was arbitrary at that point to have morality even in the mix.
I see the whole morality thing in games with the first Fable. For a while, the morality system has sort of been like, I don't really get. You get so much more advantages being one way over the other one, you know, and it doesn't really offer a whole lot in terms of the story, in terms of the experience for the game. For some of the games that I've played lately, that's not to say it's never been done well. Oh God!
Wow.
Okay, hold the phone. Hold the phone.
Just came
okay,
out of nowhere.
you, sir, and your little twat, Kane, can go and do things. All right.
It's about as close to a jump scare as we've gotten so far.
In the booty.
Wow. Uncalled
booty.
for. He's already dead.
I'm gonna kick this fence.
Oh, wait.
What?
Go ahead and look at that wall. Like, stand up next to it
What, this?
and look at it and kick. Something's
Yeah.
a bit wrong with that scale. And you know what actually is happening? It's that the leg is rendered on a separate camera. So it always is the same scale. But obviously, it looks really weird when it's paired next to something that...
Oh, I can't Chun-Li kick? Damn it. Come on, Thomas. I thought you were better than that.
Do you want to finish your thought on morality systems before we end the episode?
Yeah. Okay. The first Fable, I feel, was one of the few games that actually had the morality system done well in that, like...
It introduced something very new at the time.
I liked it because it was kind of the basis of the game, but depending on which way you went, it wasn't like one side was better than the other.
You should still play while you're talking.
I was looking at the pipe, okay? Where the hell am I going? So one other game that I'm actually playing right now is The Witcher Wild Hunt. And The Witcher has always been a game of immersion from beginning to end, whether it's crafting something for your sword, whether it is crafting a new potion that's going to help you out. The game, its world is so immersive, and they really have... For fuck, I'm in the middle of talking!
Are you talking specifically the third one, or are you just talking
In
Witcher
general.
First game, I would sort of disagree with, but
yeah,
we can talk about that later.
2 and 3, very much an immersive world. They've really come up with a realistic fantasy realm that you can get lost in. Stuff from like the quips and speech patterns that people will have to certain like taboos and stuff that they've come up with. I find it fascinating. And that is a game in which the morality system doesn't just like... I feel like it will have an impact further on in the game, but not in the way that like it's better or worse than picking the other thing. I feel like it's going to be very much an aesthetic, how you want to the world to view your character.
That's interesting. I really, really hope that the world does respond differently to your character based on those decisions. Mm-hmm. Witcher 3 is definitely on my list of good games that I probably should play. Mm-hmm. Witcher 2 is also, is my understanding, very good. But that's something that a lot of games, the morality thing, is something that a lot of games have tried to do, especially more recently as developers have realized that traditional morality systems are garbage.
What?
Nice closet, brah.
What the hell is the point of this? It's not okay. It's not a closet. A closet has like hangers and clothes and maybe a hamper.
Just a rectangle.
It's literally a little rectangle with a mop bucket. Come on.
This game is a very good example of bad level design. I will straight up say that fine. And have no issues with that.
Yeah. Oh, let me go in a circle. Hold on. I just realized I was going in a circle.
I feel like Xbox titles had a lot of issues with bad level design. But anyway, I sincerely hope that The Witcher 3 did a good job at utilizing this more modern perspective on morality systems in games.
Yeah.
Because there's an obvious flaw when we're quantifying morality in games.
This is true.
It shouldn't be represented by a number because that actually takes away what morality is.
Yeah.
Morality isn't something that you can discern by a numerical basis.
Yeah.
Morality is defined more at how people respond to, what you do. If people in real life didn't care whether or not you killed a person, not saying you should, please don't.
Please don't ever do that.
But if nobody cared, then would it be considered immoral? It's a philosophical discussion, but that kind of exemplifies what I'm talking about with adding a numerical system to morality.
Yeah.
If it's so easily quantifiable, then it's not philosophical. Then it's just numerical.
Yeah.
But anyway,
morality.
That's deep, and that could be multiple episodes in and of itself.
Yeah.
So we are done for today.
Woo!
I don't know if we'll do more Condemned. I mean, what are you feeling? I feel like we've talked a lot about not Condemned.
Yeah, and I think that's a sign though, because if we're talking about general game concepts that should be in a game like this that aren't, I feel like, to be honest, the rest of the game is basically this. The only thing that we haven't actually touched on is the taser.
Oh shit! You did tell me that at the beginning that this was important.
Okay, real quick. This is gonna be a quick 5-minute thing as soon as we run into an enemy. So,
well, it's okay if this is a little long, especially if this is our last episode for a while or forever. It doesn't really matter.
We'll find a better horror game to get the shit out
this game. Okay, so all around thoughts about Condemned. It's not very scary.
It's not. Here's the thing. Back in the day,
it was scarier.
I almost peed my pants because things jumped out at me, and I was freaking out, and the game is very much based around the idea of get the fuck away from me, I don't want to.
Yeah, and I agree that the combat system was designed relatively well with that in mind. Now, I feel as though there's too much combat. Like, this is still more of an action game than a horror game. It's just a cumbersome, difficult action game.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily bad. It's just trying to be something that it's actually not.
There you go.
So basically, it's a stun to give you a better opportunity to kill.
And this is the other mechanic with guns. You run out of ammo, you flip it around.
Oh, and then you use it as a melee weapon.
Now, mind you, the one thing with using guns as melee weapons, they come up with durability. Guns can break.
That's good.
You're screwed, which is cool.
I mean, guns do break in real life if you use them as a melee weapon.
Yeah, true story.
Bend the barrel and shit.
Beyond those little mechanics that we've seen so far, it's not really much different.
From a design perspective, I feel like the biggest takeaway is that there's a lot to learn about bad level design from this game.
It's true.
It's a sad takeaway, but honestly, that's my biggest opinion right now.
Yeah. I'm with you. Wait,
but there's a lot of value in playing bad games to learn from them, right? Like, that's why I've played a lot of the Sonic games.
Hold on. Okay.
You're talking about your shadow?
The shadow is just me standing, holding the gun.
Yeah.
Where the hell is the flashlight coming from?
It's obviously in your face, Hugo. Don't you know how games work?
Remember we were saying he's an abomination?
Yeah.
He's just a flashlight
that hasn't changed.
At least I can see my feet. That is my lead criticism on first.
Oh wait, turn around, spin around while looking at your feet. Yeah, beautiful. I think that's enough for this episode.
I think this is enough for this game.
All right. Well, it was fun, Condemned. Oh God, please don't do that anymore. Please stop. Condemned was fun to talk about.
Yeah.
Bad game overall, but
it leads to good conversations about game design and what you shouldn't do.
Yeah, it was decent for its time. I'm disappointed. I had better expectations for it.
It was a release title,
but I hope you liked it.
Yeah. Now, mind you, not all release titles are bad, and that is one thing I wouldn't mind having a conversation about in the future.
Nintendo's great release titles. Are you kidding me?
PlayStation 2 had great release titles as well.
Xbox is generally a shitty release titles, except for Halo.
Yeah.
Was that a release title?
I think it was.
Okay.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you think that Halo was a release title.
You know, I worked with a guy that worked on the original Halo.
Yeah, how'd that go? Is it just a podcast now?
No, he's a cool guy.
Oh, that's cool. It's nice to know that not everybody who worked on Halo was a soulless, lifeless douchebag.
He worked more on the marketing side, so he was kind of soulless.
So, well, okay. Well, I retract my earlier statement then.
But quick story. He was part of the group that later left Microsoft and Bungie to work on Stubbs the Zombie, which ended up being an illegal thing because they stole the engine from the Halo. No. Yeah, there was big controversy over that shit.
Shit.
But he had a blast working with Stubbs the Zombie. I want to play that game at some point. But he's a cool guy. I'm not going to say his name, but he was fun to work with. I actually miss working with him.
Anthony Merciful.
Don't say that. That could actually be a real person. Anyway, we'll see you in the archives.
Sorry, Anthony Merciful. Bleep that out. You gotta bleep it out with the goat poop.